Hello, this is Robert Stoll of the Stoll Review, with some changes to the channel. Believe me, folks, I don't like making these. I would rather continue just having something solid, but alas, things have changed within the past week or so, and I don't really feel that the way that it was branded before really struck at the strengths of this channel. That being said, you'll probably want to stick through because at first it's going to seem a little harsh, but really it isn't. It's more a spiritual change rather than a physical change, and nothing really is going to happen other than maybe some ways that the review conducts itself. So what change, do you ask, has happened? Well, ever since last week and the explosiveness on Twitter, I've come to a few conclusions. Number one, Twitter sucks. Number two, Angry Joe is worse than an aggro. He'll believe everything, and as an individual with literally no skepticism whatsoever, I feel more sorry for him and have decided to can that video. And thirdly, my own vendettas should not bring this channel down. As such, the review is now spiritually its own entity, whose sole purpose is to carry the opinions and thoughts of the individuals, no matter what they believe, no matter what movements they subscribe or don't subscribe to. It's just what it is, folks. It's not going to be anything but a platform. And as such, there's a number of, well, first off, we can go over the few amounts of physical changes that will be coming over this channel, and I can basically describe why I felt these were necessary. First off, the Twitter. The Twitter is no longer associated with Gamergate, meaning it will not use the Gamergate hashtag. The only thing this will mean is you have to follow it specifically, and it more means that I now have the challenge of trying to grow the channel, basically despite Gamergate. It's going to be long and difficult, but obviously I think you can infer that I think it's a much more ethical route than trying to leech off of just yet another social movement. With the Twitter account being not connected to Gamergate anymore, means it's going to be much more focused with the affairs of the review and friends of the review. So, for example, Frozen Binary Studio just last night had a very good interview with an ex-games journalist that I will link in below. You can expect to see that sort of content. You can also see show announcements and that sort of thing as well on the Twitter account. That's the only thing it's going to be used for. If you want to follow me, I will primarily be posting on there, or the Facebook page, or the Facebook group Gamergate Ultras, where my personal account will be posting the content of the review there. The second is, of course, the logo changes, which have already gone into effect. If they look ugly, go ahead and tell me. I wanted to do a much more generalized look because, as I said, this is just a platform now essentially for individuals, and I am no better than any other individual that may comment, meaning that suddenly my persona doesn't really work as a logo for the show itself. As such, I've gone with a more general logo that I feel is far more fitting of the platform, and I hope you all don't mind that there's no longer any more Gamergate or feminist or anti-feminist or any sort of logo ship other than that on there. Other than that, though, a lot of the content will remain the same. The editorials obviously won't cover GG material because, well, that would be biasing the review. What I can't quite control, however, is the panel shows. And this is actually a really good thing because, well, we aren't associated with GG. Everyone that I've pulled so far has come from GG. I myself, as one of the contributors, have invested just too much time into GG for me to simply drop it. I've made too many friends to simply drop GG, so it will come up, and probably in supportive ways, just without any, branding or whatever you will. Also, the rest of the content, which is explicitly GG, is still up, because I'm not a lesser man. All the tweets that I've had, that the Twitter account has, are still up, including the fight with Angry Joe. In case anyone wants to sit and mock me yet again, feel free to do so. I don't really care. And I leave that as sort of a parting gift to Gamergate, because, like I said, I'm not ashamed of that past. And even if I was ashamed, and a lesser man doesn't simply censor material. And that's the whole name of the game here, folks. The lifeblood has always been diverse opinions, and those diverse opinions are not going to be censored. So the review show isn't going to be censored, the editorials, I'm going to speak freely, and in fact, since I'm not connected to Gamergate anymore, or I should say the review isn't connected to Gamergate anymore, I can say whatever the damn well I please, because, well, I don't have any obligation to protecting anyone's sensibilities or to keeping up any group's reputation. The reason for all this being that when I first started this channel, well, I should say restarted, because it started as a place where I wanted to review some just really odd music that people don't necessarily know, but that people should know about. And well, I want to actually get into that more. The reason why I restarted it was because I was meeting so many interesting people that I wanted to get their voices in on this, and the best way to do it was to cash in on the podcasting. I don't monetize. I will never monetize unless, I get to the point where I miraculously make a shit ton of money off of this stuff and I am able to subvert time to producing video content full on, but I don't see that happening anytime in the future. So, I don't monetize, and I don't know how much more to say than that. The review has really blossomed under Gamergate, and I do have to thank Gamergate for that. Without you, Gamergate, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have found the myriad of people who I just adore. I mean, thank you, panelists, for coming on, and I do hope that you continue on, even though there's been a bit of a restructuring, as it were. Thank you for anyone who's come and viewed, and I hope I can one day find an avenue to reach you again, because I know, obviously, some of those views came from the hashtag that the review will no longer use. That being said, I've learned my lesson, and I no longer will use the review to pontificate or explode into people's faces who I generally shouldn't. This is not a personal account anymore. This is a professional account, or a semi-professional account, if you will. This has been Robert Stoll, and it's been a wacky journey so far, and I hope you continue on this journey with myself and the review. Good night, and I hope you stay on with us in this journey by doing whatever you can to support the channel, liking, commenting, subscribing, any of that sort of thing.